Hello and welcome to my little arty update. Last time I was just at the end of Inktober and I have to confess that I did skip the last day. I didn't complete it by one day, I had just had enough. No apologies whatsoever, I just felt like it had been such a hard slog without any of the enjoyment that I thought I was going to get from it. I will complete the last day at some point, and I will carry on using this sketchbook for my dip pen and ink as well. So with that behind me, I have spent the last 2 weeks working very hard on some new content for you. I briefly mentioned this 2 weeks ago. So my beginner's guide to neurographic doodling, that will go live next Friday, part 1 anyway. It's basically going to be a series of at least 3 videos which are intended to hopefully inspire everyone to get their doodle on. Basically I'm just pulling on my own experiences because I do get quite a few messages saying, oh, that one looks easy enough for me to try, and so I thought I would pull together a lot of the easier patterns to just help inspire people to get started really. So I'm hoping it'll be useful to someone, but I've really enjoyed putting this together. These sorts of videos do take quite a lot of time and work and drawings to kind of just pull all the snippets together, but I am enjoying it, so all being well, that will be ready for publishing next Friday. In other news, I've also just completed book 8 of my Neurographic Doodle Zentangle sketchbook, and I've got a flip through for that one scheduled on Sunday. I have started book 9 as well, so I'll just show you through what I've been doing. So I think we got up to here. This one was a combination of felt tip pen and coloured pencil, and I was just playing around how I could use the coloured pencils in my designs. This one didn't start out like this. When I started this one it just looked like avocados. I wasn't very keen on it, so I went back and worked on it a little bit more. I'm still not very keen on it, but practice of drawing, you know, I could sit and do this all day, and frequently I do. The next one, I kind of just wanted to experiment with how I could take the same pattern and create very different doodles. So I had this kind of television set style pattern with 2 semicircles in, and I just wanted to experiment with different lines to see just how different I could make the same shape look. This next page didn't go right at all. I was still trying to play around with the white gel pens, and I tried using the silver gel pen as well. The silver gel pen was far more effective working over the drawing ink, but the patterns weren't great. This was just an experimental page. This one, well, I really like doing these flowing lines and I don't use them enough, so I just wanted to fill a page with these squiggly lines. It kind of looks like muscles or something, doesn't it? Really like doing this one, and I really must use that pattern a bit more. Right, okay, so the last 3 pages of this sketchbook, I have to just quickly explain that I knew I was running out of pages in my sketchbook and I hadn't yet been to Hobbycraft to get another sketchbook, so I had to make these pages last. So these next 3 pages are very overworked, a lot more overworked than I usually do, but I really kind of like the overall effect of them. This one might have been better if I'd chosen better colours, but yeah. And the last one before I got my new sketchbook. So as I've said, I will put the full flip through of this sketchbook up on Sunday. But I have also started book 9. I have started to think about Christmas, and I thought, well, it would be fun to do some kind of Zentangle style Christmas cards this year. I do like to make my own Christmas cards most years. So the next few pages was me playing around with ideas. These ones were my favourite, so I think I will have a go at making some Christmas cards using this style. But also I really quite like the baubles. Now I found with the baubles, if I added too many colours, it didn't seem to work as well. So I need to stick to 1 or 2 colours or black and white, but yeah. Then there was this one, which I did as a full process video. I'd done a similar one to this in black and white a few sketchbooks ago, maybe my last one, I can't remember. I wanted to see what it'd be like if I filled in the wiggles with colour. Didn't particularly like it very much, so I tried it again without putting any colour in the wiggles, but I do really like this style, so I did another one, and this one I ended up smudging it with my sleeve, but you know, it's just my sketchbook. So the next 9 pages I'm not going to show you because that's all for my beginner's guide to doodling, and I'm not going to give any sneak peeks away this week. Working on the beginner's guide to doodling has completely taken over the last few weeks, but with no complaints from me because I absolutely love doing this. When I've got that sketchbook open, I'm quite often in my happy place and I'm relaxed and I'm chilled and just content. So in addition to my Neurographic sketchbook, I have done a couple of pictures in my Inktense sketchbook. The first one, I don't feel like I'm really getting the depth in this picture, but I hadn't done an Inktense drawing, well, I've done one in the last month, so I was a little bit out of practice and I'm still learning, so yeah, that was quite an exercise for me, not great. And then the next one I did, and I didn't put a background wash on, I just used the paper palette and then applied the colour to the page. Happier with that one, it was really quite cute. I would have done a few more in it because I did take the sketchbook away with me because I was away for a few days, but I forgot to take the colour chart with me. That's annoying, so I don't feel confident enough to use these Inktense pencils without the colour chart. I'm sure that will come in time, the more I use them, but I really am enjoying using these Inktense pencils very much. I'm just going to take this little opportunity as well to show you a photograph of a painting my daughter's been doing. But I'm so proud of her. She's so talented. She doesn't paint very often, but when she does, I'm just so impressed. This painting is not finished yet, but oh my goodness me, that sky, the depth. I only wish that I could create a painting just like that. Maybe I could learn a thing or two off her. So in other news, I've already mentioned that I had a little trip away to recharge the batteries. That was lovely, and there's been a lovely fireworks evening. I've done a bit of Christmas shopping. I've had a few days where I felt quite tired, where I just didn't want to do anything. And most of the time it's just the usual aches and pains. I managed to get my referral for my DEXA scan. I have osteopenia in my hip. I can't remember if it's the left or the right hip. I'd have to double check that, but in one of my hips I've got some deterioration of the bone. It's not osteoporosis, but they just want to keep an eye on it in case it does go down that route. But yeah, just my usual aches and pains, and yeah. So yeah, that is about it. I really hope you've been working on something interesting over the last few weeks, and I hope to catch up with you again in 2 weeks' time when I'll show you what else I've been working on. Bye for now.